Hi, I'm Scott. 5 years ago, God put me on this journey, I believe, to investigate how the arts can help in healing and trauma, crisis, and disaster. It all started with a crisis that had happened in my community. I was at a church where I felt like it wasn't really addressed, and I started thinking about what are we doing in our churches when we can't talk about what's going on in the world because we might be too overwhelmed by it, or the world's just too yucky out there. And as I was praying about it, I felt like God was leading me to write this book, and it turned into a ministry that we're also kicking off called Care Arts Ministry. And it's been really neat to see what God has done. One of the things is He gave this acronym called CARE, and it stands for Compassionate Artistic Response and Engagement. So, as I spent these years trying to grow and understand what the arts can do and what we need in our churches as far as trauma care and mental health care and just responses and reactions to what's happening in the world, I've collaborated with an arts therapist named Jen Allward, and we've put the science of art and brain science together. So we think that this book, How to Care, Crisis, Disaster, and Trauma Ministry with the Arts, can help churches and believers respond appropriately to the things that are happening in the world and not be overwhelmed by them. God gives us a way to be able to give things to Him, to be able to exchange our heartbreak and sorrow for joy, ultimately. Not that we're trying to skip over those things. We want to learn from them. We want to let them teach us. But ultimately, He wants to lead us to joy. So if you can help support the final part of the process here, which is the editing, the design, we decided to do this independently instead of through one of the publishers that I would normally work with, in order to have more freedom to work with partners and to be able to get it out sooner. But it takes money, and so that's why I'm doing this very uncomfortable GoFundMe campaign. I don't like to raise money, but I think you have to look at it like we're giving you an opportunity to partner with us with what God is doing in healing of trauma through the arts. Of course, if you can't give, totally understandable. We would ask you, if you have a heart for this, to pray for us, because it's quite a road, and we've had a lot of spiritual attacks and a lot of things to overcome with it. But you can imagine that's the case because we're getting into healing from some of the hard things that happens, some of it which the enemy causes. So, blessings. Thanks for listening.